Mahalo for joining me in meeting Jan Dill, who is the president of the Partners in Development Foundation. Glad you're with us. And I'm so happy to see you again. Partners in Development, that's a huge concept, but it's also who you are.
In the sense that we all have to do it together. You know, we can't do it as Lone Rangers.
There's a lot of conversation or a lot of talk, let's say, about doing things in unity and doing them together. But your foundation actually goes into the community and works with people.
Right. We have about 300 employees throughout the state, and we have a free traveling preschool that serves several thousand kids and their caregivers with those that can't afford or access preschool. A lot of things that really kind of, I think, speak to the heart of the Hawaiian community, speak to the heart of the community of Hawaii.
Yes, and I appreciate you saying the heart of our community, because it is not just Hawaiian values, it's our values as people on this island.
Right. I mean, if you look at any community, what defines a community is their investment in the young children and the older people. We need to be clear in our commitment to the kupuna, the elders, and to the keiki that really represent the future of our community. And the issue is there's so many distractions for our kids and our families, and there's a lot of tugging and pulling that takes place with them. So we have to make the decision that, what are we going to allow in the little basket of our children that would really prepare them to be the Hawaii that we want to see 30 years from now. So.
Well, and what I appreciate about the work that I know you do with the foundation is it is about the present as well.
I really am committed to transformational change. In other words, often the social service things that we do are really to stabilize status quo. And I think that just condemns us to stay where we are. So I tend to be a troublemaker, and that's fine, especially when you get older. You lost your filters. You just do what you do.
Maybe there's another word for it, like revolutionary, or I like the word transformational.
Yes, right. I mean, and it starts with the basics. We take care of kuleana. The Hawaiian culture is so rich with concepts that are amazingly contemporary, and we need to embrace them as we kind of look to the path forward. And we see kuleana is very important to take care of our families. And if we start there, I think the rest comes naturally.
Yes, and what you always remind us, I think, too, from our previous conversations is that the question of being in pono.
Yeah.
Right? Doing things the right way for the right reasons, and that everything we say and do must be in harmony with what we want.
Right, and so it demands that we kind of articulate the values that would drive us and say that if it's outside these values, it shouldn't be a part of who we are in policy formation, and you've been a part of that. So I think it's so important to come around what are the values that will essentially be the language of our community. And if it doesn't, fall into the values, then I think we shouldn't be speaking the language. We should be committed to living aloha, living pono, living those things that really have prospered our community over the centuries.
Well, and you certainly help the youngers and the seniors and all of us in between to be aloha, not just live it. And I really appreciate the work that you've been doing.
Well, it's a privilege. It's interesting once you get into this kind of focus on what are the cultural roots of what we do, how do they apply to our lives today, and the hard part is how do we bring it into flesh. In other words, you can talk aloha till the cows go home, but what does aloha look like if you don't like somebody? If you really are committed to aloha, it doesn't change. It's there. And
just maybe don't invite them to dinner.
Or give them don't let them allow to have seconds.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
No, it's a pleasure to see you again.
You've had the privilege of meeting Jan Dill, who is the president of Partners in Development Foundation. Glad you've been with us.